I want you to have some part of me until you can have all of me again.
Red, White, and Royal Blue made such a strong impression when it first dropped on Prime Video that fans were instantly hooked. People couldn't get enough of the unlikely romance between Alex Claremont Diaz, the charismatic first son of the United States, and Prince Henry, Britain's buttoned-up royal. Their love story took center stage, unfolding with all the heart, humor, and intensity you'd want from a good rom-com. And because it blended romance with politics in such a clever way, audiences just kept asking for more even after the credits rolled. So when Amazon announced the sequel was officially on the way, it felt like a no-brainer. The original film wasn't just a hit, it was record-breaking. But there was a catch. The movie had already told the complete story from Casey McQuiston's best-selling 2019 novel. That meant any sequel would have to venture into uncharted territory, and that's where things got a little tricky for writer-director Matthew Lopez. Instead of just continuing blindly, he brought McQuiston on board to help craft something fresh, something that still felt true to the characters fans had fallen in love with. Lopez spoke about this creative process during a chat with AT&T at the Tribeca Film Festival. He explained that once the fan response became clear, they realized they had an opportunity and responsibility to take the story further. But because the book didn't offer any more material beyond what they had already filmed, Lopez invited McQuiston to London to brainstorm a new chapter for Alex and Henry. The two of them spent about a week hashing out ideas, essentially building their own kind of fan fiction, but with the blessing and brainpower of the book's original creator. Although Lopez didn't spill any major plot details, he promised that whatever comes next will hold on to the elements that made the first film so beloved. He also hinted that the sequel would shake things up just enough to keep things interesting. In his words, they want to challenge expectations while staying true to the heart of the story. After all, fans have certain hopes for Alex and Henry, and the team behind the movie clearly wants to do right by them. The original Red, White, and Royal Blue was this beautifully balanced mix of romance and political tension. It followed the fiery relationship between Taylor Zakhar Perez's Alex and Nicholas Galitzine's Prince Henry, which started off with awkward rivalry but quickly bloomed into a passionate romance. They eventually had to navigate everything that comes with their high-profile positions, including family pressure, public scrutiny, and media frenzy, while still trying to protect what they had. It was a feel-good love story, but with enough realism and stakes to make it compelling. Critics loved it too. Collider's Carly Lane described it as a charming and diverting rom-com that gave a refreshing spin to the genre. Audiences clearly agreed, making it one of Prime Video's most-watched romantic comedies. Naturally, Perez and Galitzine are both confirmed to return for the sequel, and so is Sarah Shahi, who brought a lot of energy as Zara Bankston, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff. Zara's reactions to Alex's love life, especially that now iconic closet scene, added some of the funniest, most memorable moments in the movie. But even though we've got confirmation on some of the returning cast, the team is being super secretive about plot details. In fact, Taylor Zakhar Perez said in an interview with Elle that he purposely asked not to be told anything until prep work for the sequel officially starts. He joked about wanting plausible deniability, which just adds to the mystery. But he has heard that the new script is really good, so that's already a promising sign. Sarah Shahi also opened up about her return to the sequel. When asked about Zara's comeback, she confirmed it with a smile. Zara is back. She even admitted that during the original film's press tour, which got cancelled, she wasn't sure of how the movie would land with audiences. She said that when you're in the middle of making something, it's hard to predict if it's going to be a hit or not. All you can do is focus on doing your best. And yet, despite those uncertainties, the film crushed expectations. According to Shahi, Red, White, and Royal Blue did in a single night what Amazon had expected it to do over the span of 3 weeks. That kind of success is rare, especially for a rom-com that's centered on an LGBTQ+ love story. But it just goes to show how much people were craving this kind of representation, with heart, wit, and characters who feel real. What's especially exciting about the sequel is that it opens the door for new possibilities. With the original storyline wrapped up, the filmmakers now have a clean slate to explore what Alex and Henry's future might look like. Maybe the sequel can dive deeper into the pressures of balancing love with leadership, or how their relationship evolves now that they're publicly together. Or even better, it could expand the world even further by bringing in a new character to stir things up. Imagine a fresh face being introduced, someone who either helps or complicates Alex and Henry's dynamic. That's where casting someone like Aiden Fisk could be a fun twist. He might not be a household name just yet, but he's been around the scene for a while and acted opposite big names like Aaron Paul in American Women. Giving someone like Fisk a major supporting role could not only bring some fresh energy, but also provide a whole new romantic angle, maybe even a side romance that complements the main story. He could play a charming new White House intern or a royal cousin who's secretly navigating his own forbidden love affair. This could broaden the film's emotional core and give audiences another relationship to root for. Adding a second love story, or even just a character who introduces a bit of friendly or not-so-friendly tension, would keep things from getting too predictable. After all, sequels need to grow while still staying connected to the original, and the new subplot could give viewers something fresh without taking anything away from Alex and Henry's relationship. It could also make the sequel feel a little more like an ensemble film with multiple storylines weaving together. Of course, the heart of Red, White, and Royal Blue will always be Alex and Henry's romance, but letting the story expand to include new characters, evolving challenges, and different shades of love will only make their world richer. The pressure of being a political power couple, the strain of long distance across continents, or even disagreements about how public or private they want to be, there's so much material there. And as long as the sequel keeps its focus on love, identity, and the courage to be seen, it's bound to strike gold again. Also, fans have really responded to the chemistry between Perez and Galitzine. That kind of natural connection is hard to fake, and it's one of the reasons why the film resonated so deeply. Building on that while giving them new layers to explore, like shared responsibilities, deeper emotional conversations, or even clashing ideals, could give the sequel more dramatic weight while still keeping the romance at the forefront. It helps that the creative team understands how special this franchise has become. With McQuiston working alongside Lopez, there's a sense of trust that they'll keep the soul of the story intact. And knowing that Amazon is behind it means the production will have the resources to keep the sequel looking polished and cinematic. While we still don't know the official title or release date, the buzz around Red, White, and Royal Blue 2 is already building. And the fact that the three cast members, Perez, Galitzine, and Shahi, are all confirmed to return means that fans won't have to say goodbye to the characters they've grown so attached to. Whether the story takes us to the campaign trail, the royal palace, or somewhere totally unexpected, one thing's for sure, this sequel has the potential to be just as heartwarming, funny, and groundbreaking as the original. So as we wait for more updates, the excitement keeps growing, because it isn't just about a love story anymore, it's about building a world where love, no matter how unconventional, is celebrated. And maybe, just maybe, the sequel will surprise us with a brand new romance, a new favorite character, or a moment that becomes just as iconic as Henry hiding in that hotel room closet. Whatever it brings, it's clear that Red, White, and Royal Blue isn't finished making people believe in big, messy, unforgettable love. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.